Alright, YouTube, 116 Falconer here. I was just going to go over this $13 Harbor Freight 6-function mini digital clamp meter. I bought this specifically for the clamp function to check the igniter on my old lady's gas oven there. But what I'm going to do is open it up, check out some of the other functions on it, and we'll see if it was worth $13. So I'll be right back. Alright, YouTube, so I got her opened up, put the batteries in it. They come with 3 of them little button batteries. You just stick in there, positive side up, stack the 3 on top of each other. The readout's pretty bright on it. So I browsed the quite intensive user's manual, like 1.5 pages of goes over your DC, AC, amps, continuity. Let's see, DC, AC current, resistance, continuity, and diode measuring. And that's about it. I mean, pretty simple. In case you were wondering, here's the leads that come with them. The caps are quite a pain in the ass to get off. They're on there very, very tight. The ends that go into the meter, you got the little caps inside there. So I checked also the leads for my Fluke fit this as well, so they must be a universal lead. The Fluke leads are much better. They're heavier but more pliable, where the ones that come in this are not quite as thick and a little stiffer. But whatever, $13 freaking dollars. Well, with tax it was like 14. What the hell was it? 1403. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check the amp draw on the igniter on the oven. Alright, YouTube, so we're going to take the clamp meter and check the amp draw on this Frigidaire Gallery stove. Good pizza. So let's see, first thing I do is turn the oven on. So I'm going to have to, let's see, bake. I'm going to make sure nothing's in there. No, I just cleaned it out. Alright, so I got it on bake. Alright, so now we're going to go under here. Oh, let me get a light on. Now, you got to keep the wires separated. Alright, you got to keep them separated. So I'm going to put the meter up here to 20 volts. Alright, put it around. You're supposed to keep it in the middle. Now it's supposed to be between 3, like around 3 amps. So if I press, you can see here we're like at 2.6. 2.69, 2.7. We'll wait for the burner to kick on. That's the one that goes up into the igniter. Now I'm going to, alright, burner just lit. I'm going to press the hold button. Alright, 2.71, so we are below the specifications. Well, that worked pretty good. Oh, Jesus. Alright, YouTube, so somehow my videoing sucks today, so I never recorded the part where I checked the amp draw on the new igniter. So let's do that now. Set the oven to 350. Bake. We're on preheat. Go down. Oh God. Okay, so we're gonna put the meter up here to 20 amp because it's not gonna take that much, and clamp around. So you see we're at 3.6. Which is definitely within range. Alright, YouTube, so we're back to checking out this $13 Harbor Freight mini clamp multimeter. Another use for the clamp, which is good, is that say you got an old freaking electrical panel and you're trying to isolate existing wires, outlets, you know, wherever it's going, and you don't want to just kill everything. What you can do is plug, I'm sure you can hear upstairs, I got the old lady's blow dryer on high heat. So you can take the panel off your breaker box and check the wires individually. Now if you had like a FLIR thermal camera or something, you could just see whichever breaker's heating up and you could tell which is drawing the power. But you know, if you want to spend $13, take a little time, you can have somebody plug in a something that draws a lot of amps, and then you can just run each of your wires here and see what's drawing what. Now I know for a fact that it's going to be this wire right here. Alright, because the furnace, the bathroom, and another outlet are all on the same freaking breaker, same 15 amp breaker. So, and in the winter time, we got to turn the furnace off or turn the temperature down when she wants to use her blow dryer. Otherwise, you pop your breaker. But we can look right here. See, if you take your multimeter, clamp it around, you can see that that hair dryer is drawing almost 15 amps. Alright, so when the furnace kicks on, you know, you got a 15 amp breaker, you got almost 15 amps from the hair dryer, you know, something's got to give. But then you can go around and check other wires and see what kind of, you know, what kind of electric's being used in your house. Like here, this one's drawn 1.26 amps. I'm not sure what that is. I got to put the panel back up there. It's really an interesting tool. There's 0 there. So you can go around and isolate, you know, electrical issues, which for 13 bucks, hells yeah. And then of course, if you got something, you know, like my house, it's a hodgepodge of knob and tube wiring, you know, this and that, you don't know where the hell it goes, you know, you can, right there we're drawing, you know, 0.69 of an amp. Now with these clamps, you have to do individual wires. All right, you can't just clamp around the two wires, because it'll offset itself. So you got to isolate individual wires, which, you know, where your fuse box would be the perfect place to do that. Or if you got knob and tube, you know, plug an outlet in there, or a thing in there, and plug something that draws a lot of amps, and then you can follow it back to your breaker box, regardless if you have breakers or the old style fuses or whatever, and you can isolate without having to just kill everything. You can isolate what you're looking for. So that's that. All right, we've already seen how it can, you know, work on an oven to test a igniter. So we'll do the other couple basic functions, which are, you know, checking an outlet, you know, seeing if you got 120 volts and resistance. The diode check, not doing that. Don't even know how to do it. So, all right, see ya. All right, so something I neglected to say downstairs. When you're checking amp draw, I had this up at the 20 amp position because it's a 15 amp breaker I'm checking. If you're doing something over 20 amps, you go up to the 200 amp, up to a maximum of 400 amps. All right, so just so you're aware of that, you know, pretty easy. So now we're going to check this outlet here, this GFI. So you just set it to up here to 300 volt. When you're on volts, the squiggly line, that's alternating. If you're down here, that's direct current. So alternating, we'll stick it. That's the other nice thing about the clamp. I'll just stick it on something to hold it, because doing this one-handed's a pain in the arse. So, oh shit, I gotta get the caps off these things. Just a second. Oh. Oh, the caps on the probes are on there like crazy, man. Alright, so we get these stuck in. 1, 2. We'll see what our meter says. 120 volts. Perfect. Alright, so we'll do a continuity check. So say the probe for my fluke wasn't working. Alright, so we can put this here on, Jesus, I can't see. We can put it there, or we can put it, that'll go up to 200, or we can go up here 2000 with the alarm, you know, blah blah blah. So now we'll check continuity. I gotta say, these leads being as hard as they are is kind of a pain in the arse, but for $13 I can live with it. Alright, so we got you in there. We're gonna hook you up here. Alright, so see, zero resistance. So that's the basics. As far as what I can think of for this $13 multimeter, I'm assuming you could like clamp this onto a alternator on a vehicle on the positive wire, set it up to whatever your alternator amp output is, and then see exactly how many amps your alternator's putting out. Probably in the 200 range, you know, unless you got some big thing, then you'd have to go up to the 400 range. But other than that, you know, $13. It seems to be a hell of a nice unit. I'll tell you, just for trying to find freaking where wires go in an old circuit panel, that you have no idea what goes where, I mean, it'd be worth it right there. So, alright, that's the Harbor Freight mini clamp multimeter. Pretty cool, pretty cheap. Saved me money on fixing my stove, I'll tell you that. Alright, yeah, bitches. Questions, comments, whatever. See ya.